Hey everybody. So I have made a lot of videos about making yogurt, but I never did really go into my personal story as far as uh, what made me get into this in the first place. So probably like a lot of y'all that are looking into getting into yogurt. I mean, my gut was a wreck, right? So I was having some tough times with my gut. I didn't, obviously look at me. I don't really didn't eat as healthy as I should have. Um, Had through lots of antibiotics over the years, and consumed like some, foods that have, things that wreck your gut. So first, when I first came about this, my wife, she really likes to watch a lot of the doctors on YouTube. So some good ones, some bad ones, but we take them all with a grain of salt. But one that she watched that she made me watch as well. That happens a lot. Was Dr. Berg. So Dr. Berg, he's a really good doctor that you can listen to that explains things very well and explains things in a way um, that everyone can understand them. So he was going over depression and gut health, and I'm like, that's a weird combination. So I mean, how are these tied together? And so we started going into the gut health and started talking about Dr. Davis, and all that just kind of clicked for me because I was like, wow, I was like, maybe this is something that I can eat red meat again because I haven't been able to eat red meat for a long time. It gives me indigestion and I miss it, and my whole family eats it, but I get to smell it. So I was like, okay, well maybe this will be something that I can use to try to gain that back, right? So that was my thinking. Of course, eating, not necessarily gut health, but I get this thing that I really enjoy eating, get it back. Um, so anyway, so I went through and I saw that he uses the that ultimate yogurt maker, used L-Reuteri and some other stuff, and so I saw how he did it. So I was like, okay, I'm going to save up for this and then get this and then try it out. And it was about 3 or 4 months later, I got the money up to get it. And then so what I initially did is I just went right into making a Rooterite. And the first week I made it, so I put in too much of this. So I put in two per container, which you're not really supposed to do. It's only made me one. And so the first week it was a little rough because the inulin definitely gives me a tough time. So I mean, I know it's great for bacteria, but my gut and my stomach, it can be a little rough. But anyway, I got through that first week. I just said, okay, I'm going to power through this. I'm going to get through this. I'm going to eat my, a half a cup of this every day. So after about like 3 or 4 hours, I was good, and everything worked out. So the first week, things started to change pretty quickly as far as the gut was concerned. So, I mean, before I would be in pain for like hours every morning. And it was just, God, it was just miserable. I was just wrecked like all day. I felt awful. Um, and so the first week, things started to turn around pretty quickly as far as that goes. Um, so maybe after the second week, my gut had like completely transformed to like a normal person's gut, and it was like it was just fantastic, just to not be sick anymore every day. And so what I did after that, I was just using one of these. I realized my mistake, and I just okay, let's fix this. Now the funny thing, like y'all, is thinking that you have to make it by scratch every time. And then I read some more things online, did some more research, and I found out that you don't have to do that. You just add a couple of scoops, pour it in the milk, and cook it, and that's it. You can add this if you want to, but you don't need to do that. So I was like, great. So now it's easy. I'm cooking it, and then like the second week of it, I noticed that my gums were there was no soreness, no issues, no bad breath. Right? I had the worst bad breath. I don't smoke. I don't drink a lot of coffee. I don't eat like spicy. I don't eat like a very fragrant type of foods that will cause something like that. But it was just like, yeah, my wife was like, God, yeah, what's wrong with your breath? And I'm like, I don't know. I would brush my teeth, I would take mints, everything. No, my breath was just like dragon breath from hell. But that was gone. That was gone the second week. And then after that, I started noticing a lot of other good changes. Like maybe about the second or third week, I just kind of my brain just got activated. And I know it's really kind of weird, but it was a little scary because now I'm able to process and do things a lot faster, which is a little scary for me at first because I'm able to come through and figure things out much quicker than I did before, which was like, okay, I'm already doing things fast. Now I'm doing things like super fast. So I think what was going on is that it wasn't necessarily the benefit of the Reuteri, it was the actual absence of the harmful chemicals that were coming off from the bad bacteria. Because at that point, the Reuteri was colonizing the small intestine, and it was pushing that stuff out, and all that was dying off. And it was like an awakening. It was really cool. Now, one other cool benefit of the Reuteri was that I did get deeper sleep, and that's true. I got that from the Reuteri. So I kind of went on for a while eating this, and it was great doing it every day. I eat a half a cup of this with some some granola and some honey, because the Reuteri can be kind of tart and sharp tasting. But yeah, and I noticed another cool thing is that they call the Reuteri the love bug. And there's a reason for that, is that it helps increase your empathy towards others. And for me, I really struggled with that. I've always struggled with it. It's almost like I didn't have the ability. I mean, I did care. Believe me, don't get me wrong. I do care about other people. I love my family. I love people. But it allowed me to connect to them in ways that I haven't before. And it also deepened my spirituality, which was kind of strange, but it happened. So I continued on this. I finally got around to reading Dr. Davis's book, Super Gut, and that's a fantastic book. So I highly recommend that y'all read that book, because it explains, like, from start to finish. That Davis is pretty analytical in his in his books, but you get a very, very deep and good understanding about what the things are, how they impact you, and then what's the reason why you want to do this. So the great thing about his books, there's no stone that's left unturned. So he goes over everything. So it was a great book. I highly recommend you read it, so you understand like why you're doing this. So in the meantime, I started messing around with different strains like Casere, because like I heard, oh wow, it'll help you lose some weight. I'm like, but never did find that benefit. Maybe there's I think between the problems probably between the hand and the mouth, and maybe this isn't going to help there, But anyway, but yeah. So the good thing is that I've continued on this. So I started this about the beginning of the year. I don't necessarily eat this every day. I eat this most days. I usually eat it in the morning for breakfast, and I'm good. Really, I mean, I eat this and I'm good all the way to lunch, right? You look at me like I could eat 1,000 pounds worth of food, right? But yeah, I'm full, and it's good. I enjoy it every day. When I don't, I eat eggs and some greens, and that's kind of my go-to. But so I've tried other other things. My son got on this Therabiotic, and it has just a whole slew of awesome. Granted, this is not sponsored or anything, but his doctor recommended this based on some of the testing that he had, and so he's been taking this as directed, right, with like a spoonful, and then I mean this one, quarter of a teaspoon. Measurements are so weird. Anyway, he's taking that, and that was good. But I was like, hey, I can make some yogurt out of that. And it did make fantastic yogurt. So I kind of pair these up. So what I do is I end up eating a half a cup of this, and I get a half a cup of this, and these cook at the same time. So I end up like cooking them together, and that's kind of my go-to for this. I have played around with some others, but so far I'm kind of happy with where this is going. what are the other benefits? I forgot to tell y'all. Um, anyway, yeah, I lost for words. But yeah, I have to say that this is absolutely without a doubt changed my life for the better. Oh, here's some other benefits too. So if you are feeling anxious, you have issues with depression and like feeling down a lot, you get you have some kind of like like some type of emotional issue sometimes, that's supposed to kind of even you out really well. And I can tell you that it will help you get over events kind of quickly and not panic, right? Like, so say for example, what, like this Tuesday, and I found out I was getting laid off in 60 days. So, there's some emotions, but I mean, overall, it's like, okay, well that sucks. So let's kind of move forward. So first day I was like, eh. But then it was like, okay, well let's, maybe this is a good thing. Maybe this is positive. So, I mean, I have to say that I'm pretty sure that what I've gotten from this definitely helped me to just kind of even out and not worry about that kind of stuff. I'm like, what's going to happen is going to happen, and we'll get it sorted. And I'm pretty sure that, being on this regimen for such a long time has definitely, that definitely helps me, because I don't go over in emotions. I don't get overly, I don't get like angry or shouting or none of that nonsense. I just don't do that. And I have to say that this has changed my son's meltdowns big time. So if if you have an autistic kid, I would get them tested if you can. There's a lot of good testing out there that can kind of measure what's going on in their gut, bad bacteria, good bacteria, the lack thereof, or something. And sometimes using this type of stuff can help your kid. And granted, my son's different. He doesn't eat. He drinks formula. So I couldn't give him this yogurt. So, but we were able to give him this with some. We just mix it with some juice, and he's able to take that, and then that's kind of evened him out. So, the gut's tied to a lot of things. There's a lot more studies I really think that need to happen. But I don't know. I'm a healthier person. I'm a happier person for doing this. I guarantee you do this and your life will probably turn around just as mine has. So I appreciate you all listening to a fat old man talking about yogurt. If you have any questions, comments, anything, feel free to drop them in there. And I will see you later on another yogurt adventure or some other adventure. All right, take care.